What is up, everybody? This is the interior of this aircraft that I'm building today. I made it in a previous video, so definitely go ahead and check that out if you want to see me build the interior of this Ki-61 Tony by Tamiaya. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching this video. I'm super excited to share this build with you, as it's been at the top of my list for a while now because it's such a cool airplane with such a cool camouflage scheme, and I'm doing that camouflage scheme today. So stay tuned and watch me wrestle and hassle with this stupid camo. But anyways, on to the build. We're smashing this thing together like it's no tomorrow, just because it's a Tamiaya kit, like, obviously. And the parts fit really, really good. I feel like I may have had an issue with the fit because of a trimming thing, and I adjusted it. I used a alcohol swab to actually swab off the areas and make sure that there's no paint on my glued surfaces. And this is probably the best way to get paint off of this surface. Screw using a toothpick or anything. This is the quickest and easiest way. Just lightly swipe that up and it will literally come off like it would melt like butter. It's just so easy. Next, I test fit it again and just make sure that everything is sticking together. And sure enough, it is working, and it does fit together much better just because I did that little paint thing. Beforehand, it was coming apart just a little bit at the top there, and it still does a tiny bit, but it's easy to cure with your hand, just squeezing it until the glue dries. I use Tamiaya thin cement to seal all these seams and glue the airframe together. Next, I can do the final assembly of the interior so I can stick it inside the aircraft. Sticking it inside the aircraft was a bit more difficult than I anticipated. As you can see there, I was struggling just a bit to figure it out, but eventually it goes in. Next, I can glue all this other crap together and finally get a nice fuselage going. The wing fits together like a glove. There's no problems with the wing whatsoever. There's no seam work to do on the wing either. There's just like 3 areas to do seam work. That's the top there that you see on the fuselage, just before the tail, and then on the bottom all the way through the fuselage. And that's really all the parts that you have to deal with. That's not a lot. So you know, from going to Rebel kits to Tamiaya kits, that's like basically nothing. I mean, come on. So this kit definitely fits together really, really well. Next, I can finally assemble the wings to the fuselage. It slots together just like so. What is up, everybody? Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm just going to take a quick second here to explain a little bit of the changes that are happening to my YouTube channel. The first change is my merch shop. Definitely go check out my merch shop so you can grab yourself a Mustang tee. Who wouldn't buy a Mustang t-shirt? It's another way to support my channel and to get something for yourself. The second thing is the thing that I'm most excited about, which is memberships. This is a really, really awesome, fun idea that I had to maybe give back to my community a little bit more. With memberships, there are 2 different levels to my membership fee. And basically, once you enter a membership, you automatically enter into a raffle to win a model box. In this model box, you'll receive a brand spanking new, within the last couple of years, brand new model kit. Any selection, any kind, any way. But it's going to be random, so you might not know which model you're getting every month. The next is a tool. I'm going to be giving out some tools because I think it's most important and most valuable to have tools in your modeling area. The last thing you'll see in this model box is a little something from myself. Just a little sticker, just to remind you where it came from, where it is, and where to watch your videos. The next option for a membership is a little bit more expensive. In this box, you might see a little extra something with that model kit. You might see a mask set, or Quinta Studios type of decals, or some other goodies. You'll never know which comes with the model. Maybe all 3, maybe not. But I assure you, you'll get a good value for what you put into the raffle for sure. So sign up, become a member today, and then you'll be able to automatically enter in a raffle to win one of these model kits. And with that, let's get back to building. Now that we're back from my commercial there, I am finishing up assembling the rest of this aircraft. So I'm just popping a couple things here and there onto the aircraft as they are separate parts, and I'm using some micro liquid tape to actually put on the canopy so that I can take it off on and off the way I want to. I do this for all my canopies as I find it to be the best way, because I can never choose whether I want the canopy closed or open. I want both. So in this kit, the option is actually two different canopies, and it has an open and a closed. So I chose the closed so it's a better fit when it is closed, and even though it's closed, you can still put the canopy up and it looks pretty close. But after that, I made sure all my seams were right, and now I can finally go ahead and prime. I'm priming with, man, I always forget the name of this stuff. It bothers the crap out of me. Mr. Hobby's black primer. Next, I'm doing the aluminum in a backwards way than I usually do. So usually the way I do it is I spray the whole aircraft in aluminum, and then I tape off certain sections, creating the illusion that the aluminum is actually faded in certain ways. But I'm doing it the opposite way this time, as I'm painting each individual color first on each panel, and then I'm taping that panel off and continuing with the next color. I do this 8 different times with 8 different colors. Now, if you've ever done this type of effect before, let me know in the comments and see how it worked for you. I want you guys to comment on how well you think this actually turned out, because I'm a bit, I knew that there was camo going over it, so this is why I did it on this one and put in the effort for it, because a lot of it gets covered up anyways. But I would like you to comment and tell me what you think about that, whether it's realistic according to history, whether it kind of is nice to your eyes. I find myself really liking it. I did a gloss coat over it also, so it kind of evened everything out, but at the start it was like really harsh. Those panels were really, really harsh against one another, so I'm kind of half and half. I think I'm going to turn to outclad. But next, I can actually paint the tail red, and I've always wanted to do this tail. I think it's the coolest decal artwork out of kind of all the Tamiya kits, to be honest. I just think it's a cool design, and it really has a nice color to it. So I used some Vallejo red to paint this, and as you can see, actually the red goes over the silver really, really well. So it didn't go over the black very well, but over the silver it covered 100% in 2 coats. So there's a pointer. It was a test that I ran on this aircraft, and it came out great. Next, I'm just pulling some tape here to show you the finished work. This section was painted with Tamiya flat black, just so you know. It was painted right after the primer coat and covered up with tape. You also would be correct to assume that every single panel got a piece of tape. Every single panel is just a little bit different, and here it is. Actually, the last color I did was aluminum, because all my other ones are just full aluminum, and then I do some different panels. But this is, I don't know, probably my best shot at trying to make the aluminum look really realistic according to history, and it was my best shot. I tried it, I put in a lot of effort to try it. It was very difficult. It was challenging. There's a lot of cutting. There's a lot of precision stuff going on, but I really feel like it was a really cool effect. Some areas it's too much. I can already tell you that. Some areas it's like, whoa, that's way too much. It's unrealistic, but I don't mind that, because I feel like the more you have going on with an aluminum finish, the better the end result. I don't know. But let me know in the comments what you think. I think it looks cool. I think it looks good enough for my eye to sit on my bench, but definitely comment below, see if you would try it this way, even with how much work it is. I mean, I feel like with aluminum finishes, there's really only one way to go about it, and that's foil. But yeah, I'm still trying to get these Vallejo colors to work out. Now, yes, you do see me. I am actually using the Tamiya decals, and this is why. So this aircraft got a gloss coat so that I could put the decals on, and also I wanted to dull that finish out because it was really, really harsh on the eyes once it was painted. So I put a clear coat on. It seemed to mellow it out a little bit. It kind of, I mean, a hint. It probably was a hint. But on decals, man, that's just the way I do it. You got to get it boiling hot water. I mean, literally boiling hot water. And and let them sit in there for 3 minutes. That's what I do anyways. Pull them out and they soak right in with 10 coats of microsol and microset. That's the only way I've found out how to do Tamiya decals, and it works. So it works for me. So after all these decals were set, I panicked. I didn't even realize the camo. I literally was like, what the heck, the camo? I forgot to paint the camo and then do the decals. I didn't even think about it on the wing. But after further examination, I looked on the instructions and I could clearly see green markings over the red lines that I used as the Tamiya decals. So I was in the clear. Now, in this first segment here with the camo, I struggle a lot. It took me a while to get a good mix. This is Tamiya green paint, IJN green, and it really took me a while to get the right mix. I'm running it way too thin here because I was like, oh, you never go wrong with 90-20, but just give me a second here. And I finally got a decent stroke going, and it stayed consistent for the rest of the build. So I just filmed this wing here just to show you what the heck was going on, and I basically had this 70-30 Tamiya paint green, and it's nice and thick. It almost made an intentional clog in the airbrush, and I was able to fluke my way through this process. And for me I've had a lot of experience with an airbrush, but I haven't done a lot of really detailed airbrushing like this. I did it on a B24 way back when with a different airbrush, and I've done some stuff on a Focke-Wulf, but nowhere as near as precise and complicated as this camo scheme. And for me, I feel like it really did come out great. I wish I could have made it smaller and the camo more separated, but I think for what it is, I think it came out really good. So you'll see it in the final photos. You'll see every little thing. Next, I do a little wash, and I then do the exhausts. So for these, I use 3 different coats of watered down colors to get a real kind of translucent type of look on these exhausts. So first I use the burnt umber color, then I'm using the silver color, and I'm going to be using a jet exhaust color as well. So those 3 colors worked pretty good. It kind of came out exactly the way I was hoping. I wanted to see the shine come through the dark over tint of the jet exhaust, and that's kind of exactly what happened, as the jet exhaust is a very watery color. It's meant to be sprayed as a translucent type of spray. So it's very translucent. You can see right through it. Now I'm doing some tape pulling, as this is satisfying as ever, as always. And I always just take a toothpick, trim the sides, and then take my tweezers and go on from there. That's the safest way to do it. And you're not going to scratch the glass with the toothpick, even though I have done it before. It was with old glass though, so that's kind of, that's just what happens. And I love the interior color of this thing, even though I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. I really, really like the contrast that it gives the model. It's so cool to have a tan interior against this green and silver. It's such a unique, really, really unique looking aircraft. And it's just so cool to have on the shelf. And, Focke-Wulfs are all into, gray, and the interior of, American airplanes, they're all olive drab or chromate green or whatever, but man, I gotta say, next to a Tokay, that blue and aluminum color, this is another sweet color to do in the interior. So again, not sure if it's accurate, but still, even though it may not be accurate, I really like it. The wash went in there, that was really good. And so now I'm just doing the final assembly to the aircraft as we're coming to the end of this thing. And it was a very, very satisfying build. There was a lot of challenging things I did on this build, and I hope you enjoy that as well. Now I want to make sure to I'm doing some makeup for the exhaust as well. I want to make sure to reiterate, sign up to be a member. You automatically get to be included in a model box giveaway every single month. You earn a chance to win a model box. There's a lot of cool stuff I already have for the model boxes to give out, so I'm super excited to start that up, and make sure you become a member. I was thinking, oh, let's do ads, and I can do ads for things that they can buy, like coffee makers and all that crap, and then I earn a commission off it. And then I went, You know what? No, I think there's a better way to do this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to present an opportunity for people to buy a kit cheaper than what they would get, and buy a kit cheaper than what they would, absolutely cheaper than what they would get. And the more people I get doing this, the more I can give out. So make sure to become a member for a cheap price of whatever it is, and enjoy these last pictures. Thank you guys for listening and watching, and I really appreciate every single subscription. So make sure to subscribe, like, and comment below how you like the aluminum finish, and enjoy these last pictures. Let's get back to building.